Hello, Maria. Good to see you.
Hello, tutor. How are you?
I'm good. A bit sad, but I'm good. Yeah. How are you?
Why?
Because
Why?
today is our last encounter with Freiber, Diego, and Gilbert. This is the last encounter, so we won't be able to keep like having this opportunity to share knowledge each other. So, but that's good.
It's okay, tutor. But
Yeah, it
yes,
is.
it's a sad moment.
Yes, it is. Okay, Freiber, how are you? So good to not to see you because you're not. I don't see your camera, but I know you're there. How are you?
Hi, teacher. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay.
Hola, un moment.
That's
Mm,
okay. Diego is not here. We missed him last encounter as well. So sad that he wasn't here. I don't know if he is gonna make it, if he's gonna come as well today, but that's okay. Then let's just wait for Gilbert 1 minute, and then we will get started with the lesson, and we're gonna practice part three. But let's wait a little bit for our friend Gilbert. Okay.
Okay.
There we go, Gilbert. Hello.
Hello, teacher.
How are you?
Very well.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that. How was your week?
Thank you, teacher. Very well. I was important but me.
Okay, a really good week. I'm glad to hear that. That's good, Gilbert. And this is I was telling Maria that this is our last encounter. So it has been my pleasure to be with you and to see all of you growing a lot. I mean, learning a lot. And it just has been amazing, like to have this encounter with you. So I hope you keep going forward. And I know a lot of you have a lot of work because you're also in your practicum, in your pedagogical experience. So you have a lot of work to do, right? Being here in the encounters, but as well teaching others. That's good. I mean, keep on going that way, and that that is how our society is gonna get better. Good teachers, good character, good people who are responsible, and they do everything with excellence. So that's excellent. That's good to have you guys. So let us talk about the video that we sent you a week in advance about IELTS Part 3. So, Freiber, would you like to say something about the video? What did you learn from it? What did you get? Anything that you think is important to bring up?
okay, about this video, uh, I have to say that the is a continuation of the last video that we watched the last week. Um, in the part three, it's basically there is a round of questions regarding to the topic to the section two. Taking into account the video and the example, I can say that we we can have a few seconds in order to think our ideas. I found it interesting that it's possible that we need to talk in real time, so it's important listen well. In the end of the video, there are some tips in order to improve our performance. For example, listen very well the questions, take time to think our ideas. Very important, try to give complete answers. And the most difficult part for me, have good vocabulary.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, Jeeves, Would you like to say something else about the video we sent you before?
Okay, teacher. The video is very interesting to recognize the important of that cure significant skill in the English language. The video show us how to be prepared to answer a question that the examiner does as well as using a non-native English language, and it is necessary to obtain the best possible score. The interview can by cards with that time limits to prepare one minute. Plus, you can use paper and pencil. It is also an orientation and strategy for students to understand what the interview it's about. As we see in the video, the examiner gives a topics about events and celebration and events like weekends and there different kinds of celebration. The
Okay,
answer,
okay, keep going. Yeah, keep going. The answer what?
what?
Okay, thank you, Jiber. Thank you. Maria, would you like to say something else about the video?
Well, tutor, I think I, one thing that I felt about the video in general is that it is important naturality. I think that you have to think before the exam. Yes, you must prepare yourself and understand many things. But I think that when you are speaking, it is during the interview, it is very important that you talk in a logical and natural way. I also watched a video for another candidate, and she talked in a very strange way, like with the sentences she learned before. She tried to memorize. So when she was talking, it sounds very mechanical, like I don't know, like in a documentary or something like that. So I think it is important that you talk naturally. What you think, trying to remember that yes, you have a rules, or you need to say things in thinking about grammar and things like that, but be logical and natural. I think is the main idea.
Yes, that's good. Thank you so much. Also, just to make just to sum this up, just like you say, guys, like you said, guys, complete answers are important. Don't rush as well. I mean, you don't need to be in a hurry. Also, you can buy time by saying, okay, let's say that a question is really hard, or not a hard, but an unusual one. So you could say, that's an unusual question. Give me some moment to think. That's also possible. That is buying time. That's uh, you're able to do that. Also, try to show interest to the questions as well. Even though you think those questions are boring, doesn't matter. Try just to show interest about if it is, let's say about sports and you don't like sports at all. Doesn't matter. You don't have to show like a rubber face or some man. You have to show kind of interest in what the examiner is asking you, and also try to make it simple. That's another way to say be natural. That's awesome what you said, Maria. Yeah, you have to be natural. Okay, that's important. Make it simple. Don't try to be like a machine, and neither like a philosopher. Okay, talking about worldview or maybe a scientist. I mean, you don't need to sound like an eminent, something like, "Whoa, I think that's an amazing question." And if you see the background, I mean, you don't need to do that. You don't need to do it. Just make it simple. Answer the question. Provide two more details, and keep going. Okay. And also something important for you is to provide logical answers, just as Maria said it before, logical answers are required. Okay, that's important. Because if you answer to a question, but your answer is not that accurate, I mean, it is like something crazy that you answer it, but in a crazy way, it wouldn't be good for your score. Okay, but I think you won't do that. I think you won't do it because you're good in your speaking. Also, you're logical in your way of thinking, and I think you're gonna do great. Okay, first, did you all take the exam already? No. Okay, that's good. When when will you take it? When do you have your IELTS exam?
I have it programmed for tomorrow.
Okay. And what about Freiber? No, Freiber is later on. Yeah, I know. And Gibert, when are you gonna do? When do you have IELTS?
Mm,
The exam, Gibert. When do you have it?
eh,
You don't remember?
repeat, teacher.
Okay. The IELTS. Okay, the exam, the final exam. When do you have it?
Mm,
No, that's okay. Don't worry. Okay. We're talking about the final exam, the last exam, the last activity in the course, in English conversation course. Last activity is IELTS,
ah,
is a exam. When do you have it?
Sam.
Uh,
That's okay, Jibril. Don't worry. Never mind. That's okay.
he has the exam the last day,
Last day. Okay.
of the calendar.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Fravor.
23rd. Jiver, I I see your his name in
31st.
the
Is it no? Is it 31st or 21st? What did you say? What did you say,
23rd.
Fravor? Okay.
23rd. Jiver has exam the 23rd,
23rd. Okay.
and me 22nd.
Good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, Jibril is with me. I know. Okay. Let's start. Okay. So we're gonna practice. So be ready for this. Um, Maria, you are in your pedagogical experience too, right? Fravor, are you in the same as well? Or you're in pedagogical experience one?
I'm in
Pedagogical
one teacher.
experience one.
Okay, one. That's good. Okay. Okay, Maria, I will start with you. So I want you to talk about family. We're gonna talk about family. I have a chronometer here with me, so remember that this part of the IELTS lasts for 5 minutes, no longer than that. Okay, so we're
Okay.
gonna get started. Is family important in your country?
Yes. In Colombia, family is very important, especially because we have an historical based on Catholic religion. So inside this religion, family is a very important aspect of life, and in the present we still maintain that characteristic as society.
How has the size of the family changed in the last few decades in your country?
The size,
Yes, the size.
um, a lot. In the past, families were very big because it was important that I don't know, it was a sort of privilege, and it gave to the families some kind of good image in having many children. But in the present, I think the rhythm of life that many people have, and also the economical problems and many other things and many other factors had changed the view that people have about having a family. So now in the present, some people don't have many children, and even there are people like me that decided not to have children. So I think it had changed a lot in the present.
Okay. How do you think the family will change in the future?
I don't know. I think it is an interesting question because something that happened during the last years is that life changed in a very strange way because, for example, anybody was expecting the technology, and that changed many things. So I don't know if in the next year something like technology is going to appear in our future and it's going to create something that we can imagine. But I suppose that it will continue changing. I don't know why, how.
Okay. What role do grandparents play in the family in your country?
Could you repeat it, tutor, please? It was good.
Yeah, that's okay. What role do grandparents play in the family in your country?
I think it is a very important role because normally in any kind of family, grandparents are very important because they are a sort of root in the family. But I think in the present, for example, in Colombia, for example, yesterday I heard I knew that about women in Colombia that more or less the half of the complete mothers in Colombia are single. So it is it creates a society where grandparents are very important for the because they at the end of the day they are uh, helping to their the childrens to grow up inside the family because the parents are not at home. So here in Colombia, I think they are very important.
Who do you think should be responsible for the care of the elderly, the family or the government?
I think both. Family, obviously, because I think it's our responsibility to care about all the members of our family, but also the government because other people have been working very hard during the years to create many things, and I think and creating also a country. Many things that government feel proud about in their country comes from the older people. So I think they have also the responsibility to care that persons when they are older.
Thank you so much, Maria. That was
Thank
IELTS
you.
part 3. That was good. Okay, that was good. I think we have practiced this before, and fifth encounter, I think, and also you did well there. That was good. Okay, it was 4 minutes and 41 seconds, something like that. That was good. It lasts 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, Favorite isn't here, so that's sad, but that's okay. Giver, so did you see what we did with what we do? Sorry, with Maria, right? So now we're going to practice the same. The same thing is going to happen now. I will ask you some questions, and you have to answer those questions. Okay, Giver?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, so let me find your. Let me ask you about sports. Okay.
Okay, two.
Okay. Yes, a couple of questions about sports. Remember that you will have 4 or 5 minutes. Okay. So I have several questions, just like we did with Maria. And remember that you have 5 minutes. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
Gilbert. Okay. So first question for you: why are some sports fans so passionate?
Moment, teacher.
Okay, again, Gilbert. Why are some sports fans so passionate?
Mi computadora está un poco fallando, teacher, excuse me, es que se va por ratos y comienza a hacerme la pantalla así. Ese es el problema que...
Okay, but it doesn't matter if you can hear me. If you can hear me well, it doesn't matter the screen of the display.
Ok, teacher, listo.
Okay, do you hear me well?
Voy, yes, teacher.
Okay, so the first question is about sports fans, okay?
Ok.
Okay, so why are some sports fans so passionate? Please unmute your microphone.
Listo. Case they don't have.
Okay, the second question. Is there an okay, sorry. Sorry, it was broken. Keep going, Gilbert.
Case they don't have some time to be apart, and they one belong uh, as a group.
Okay. Okay, second question. Is there any violence at sporting events in your country?
Curious is soccer. Matches some fan kill each other and they only express their um, violence by today um, killing people.
Okay. What benefits do international sporting events bring?
Uh, economic benefits because the would be a amount of things that Excel are sell in economy is important for the people in the family, uh, also in study. Some people should support the families selling products agricultures.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple of questions. The money professional sportsmen earn or get or obtain is significantly higher than that the earning of other professionals. Is it justified for you?
And no, because it think the money the profession The John has here the Sam. The Sam for the effort to the to do it. Um, and that is in thing is in prime time to appreciate.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Jiver. Thank you so much. Um, yes, I later on, I think I gave you that's okay, Jiver. I gave you some links to practice. I don't know if I did it with you guys or it was another group. But yeah, it will be good also. Maybe later on, Jiver, I can give you some web page that you can go and practice a little bit with. That will help you a lot. Okay. But yeah, thanks, Jiver. So
Okay.
Frey, okay, Freiber, we're gonna practice with you. So remember that you have 4 or 5 minutes to perform this part of the aisle, and I want you to talk about higher education. Okay, so we're gonna start. So is higher education too expensive in your country?
Of course, the higher education in Colombia is very expensive. Uh, for this reason, I'm studying in the UNAT because we have the opportunity to start in our homes, in our town, without spend, uh, without more cost, because we need the universities, uh, in average, have very high haircuts in any work career. Then, if you want to choose a postgrad, you have to have a good you need to have a good economic situation in order
Okay.
to get a higher education in Colombia. And the government um, don't ha doesn't have the support yet for the young people. Then it's difficult for the youngers get a better education.
Should all students pay for the university education? If so, why?
Can you repeat me the question, teacher? I
Yes.
can hear you. I can hear you well.
Okay. Should all students pay for their university education?
Okay, the students. It's a controversial question. Uh, I think that the person have the a good economic position, they should pay their study. But in Colombia, there are a very large average of poor in the population. So I need that the government may help with even and with a little part. So if the student have the opportunity to pay the education, they should to pay. But if not, the government maybe need to help them.
Okay. What advantages do universities bring to the society?
University bring a lot of advantages. For example, yeah, if the society study, if the person studies, uh, there are more opportunities to work. Um, there are I don't know. I don't find more words to say about it.
Okay. Which is more important, research or teaching?
I think teaching, because taking into account my experience as a teacher, in the pedagogical experience one, I can see that um, there are a lot of bad teachers in Colombia that they don't interesting for the education to the students. Um, a lot of times, or sometimes, the only thing that they want is the money, the cash, and they don't prepare good classes for the students. But and this is an important necessity need of our country. We as a teachers have the goal to help the population, the youngers, in order to get a better life. So for me,
Okay.
it's more important the area of teaching, the teaching area.
Okay. What are the advantages of private universities than public universities?
In private universities, I think that maybe there is a better education. Um, in private, we can, if we study in a private university, we can get better works instead of public universities. But in public universities, the education is more cheaper. Then it depends. It depends of our situation. But for me, it's better the private education.
Okay, thank you so much, Trevor. So
Okay.
that was part three. Okay, so let us feedback. Sorry. Okay, Fravor, how was for you? Let me start with you. How do you feel? How was for you?
I feel nervous because I only have the same problem. I can't find words to say. I I don't know what to do. I'm watching videos. I'm reading a lot. I'm trying to remember every day more words in order to to have a wide range of my vocabulary. But when I try to speak, I don't find the words, and I don't know why. This
Okay.
is this is my problem. I don't know what to do.
Okay. Okay. That's a process. Yeah. Maybe we know a lot of words by heart or memorized, but then because we learn those words like in a lonely way, we don't learn them into a context, then it's harder to bring in when you're talking and when you have a conversation. It's not impossible, but it's kind of harder. But if you learned it in a context, not only like word by word in a side, let's say we have lists of words, a list of words, and maybe you don't practice it, but you learn that word, it's hard for you to put it into practice, okay? But if you
Mm,
learned it into a context that you have to use, and then maybe you used it, or you know something like as a background, that will help you a lot because it will be easier for you just to bring that word up in a conversation. But it is also good to learn by heart. It is also good to learn
right.
memorize memorizing words, but it have to be in a balance.
The last days I'm using the apps that Maria recommends me, and I I have find some new friends from another countries, but only
Good.
chatting. Um, and the last week I have the opportunity to talk with an Algeria,
Yeah.
and it was so good because she speaks wow amazing. But when we have this experience, we can learn and improve a lot because the other person talks about maybe a topic that we don't know. Then
Right.
we need to learn more vocabulary to try to express our ideas in with respect to the topic. So
Right.
thank you, Maria, for the for the app.
That's good. Check. Yeah. Check there are different kinds of English, so that's important for you to check which one are you gonna embrace. But that's good. Okay, Maria, how was for you? Tell me.
Okay. Well, the first thing, I feel glad that the flavor, that the page was useful. It's very good.
Yes, it is.
And for me, it happens. I agree with Fravor about that. The words. I think that's something that I saw today with this exercise is that as the topic is not something that you're expecting, it is very difficult to find the words because you were not thinking about that. So you don't have too much time to connect. And for example, today I am a bit tired, so it is hard for me to think in a clear way and connect. Maybe I know what I want to say, but I can't remember the word that I'm looking for. I think that's the most difficult part, I think, in this exercise.
Right. Remember when you take the exam to be refreshed, relaxed,
Oh,
and
yes.
not to be tired. That will be good
Yes.
for your brain. Givers, yes, tell us. Yeah,
Okay,
right.
teacher. Okay.
How was for you? How was this experience for you?
I feel I little, but nervous because difficult listen. I forget the words. Um, and then I watch videos to practice my listen part. It is the most difficult part to earn. Uh, I am today practice is with video. Uh,
Okay, thank you, Giver. That's okay.
okay.
That's okay. We understand you. We understood you. So don't worry. We got you. Okay, so yes, these are unexpected topics, but I think you're doing great. And in the exam, I think you have what it takes. So it wouldn't be that hard for you. Just remember to be relaxed, have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee with you. Open posture, body posture is also good so that your voice will come out in a better way. But I think you will do great. Okay, so let us start over. We're gonna start again, and I want Freiber, I will start with you. Okay, so we're gonna let us talk about reading. Okay, so do you generally read a lot of books, or do you prefer watching TV?
I reading a lot. Books no, but sports magazines, newspapers, uh, online newspapers too, because I know that a good learning way to a good strategy to learn English is reading, because we can achieve and acquire a lot of vocabulary and words. So I usually read every day. I I belong to the Adventist Seventh Church, so I read the Holy Bible. I try to read in English, because I think here there are a good vocabulary, some strange words that I'm trying to acquire for me. Then the reading is an important and magnificent activity if we want to learn vocabulary and and have a better English.
Okay. What kind of books are considered good reads in your opinion?
In my opinion, the last month I'm reading about Frankenstein. I read the Frankenstein. I like to read um, videos about movies, read books about movies. So when I watch the movie, I like to read the book, because
Okay.
I okay.
Yeah, go. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
because I think that in the movies a lot of information is now showed, and in the books we can have a background, a better background of the situation.
Okay. Do you think that people read nowadays as they did in the past?
No, with the new technologies and with the social networks, the people don't read. It's a very sad. It's very sad, but it's really, for example, my family, my brothers don't read, don't like read. Some of my friends don't read. They spend the time always in their cell phones, and the libraries are have been left. Then I think that the older people, the oldest people read a lot than the actual people.
Okay. Do you regard famous writers as good role models?
Can you repeat me the question more slowly, please?
Yes. Do you think famous writers as good role models?
Good rush models.
Yes, good examples for people.
Uh, you want to that I speak about a specific writer?
Famous writers, any famous writer.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're good examples?
Okay. I don't understand well the question, but I'm gonna have my give my answer. My favorite writer is Fyodor Dostoevsky. He's a Russian writer. He wrote some interesting novels and books. For example, I don't remember the title, but there are books regarding to research, police, policial. No, I don't know.
Okay,
No,
that's okay.
I don't understand the question. I don't know what to say.
Okay. Okay, Fredo, you made me laugh. But yeah, I'm laughing with you. Okay. Yeah, it's funny because um, yeah, let's say that the second question was also about in your opinion,
Uh-huh.
what kind of books do you consider that it is a good reading for people? So that was also good. Somehow you answered the question, but I noticed that you understood it in a different way. This
Okay.
one, this one, I mean, you don't have to something like my. You said something like my favorite writer is a Russian and he writes novels and something like that. I don't even remember the names of the book. You don't have to say that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you don't have to tell me that. You don't have to tell the
Okay.
examiner that you don't know the name of the books. So don't worry, the examiner doesn't have to know that. But
Okay.
the question, let me just rephrase it. The question was, do you regard famous
Uh,
writers as good
Rephrasing.
role?
Okay.
Wait. Do you regard famous writers as good role models? Role models means good examples, okay? Good people to follow, okay? Good role models, good examples. And do you regard means do you
Mm-hmm.
consider famous writers as good examples? Like character, like very good person. That was the question about, okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank
Okay,
you.
so yeah, if you don't understand the question, I think you will. Maybe you were a bit nervous, but I think you will get the question. Maybe you yes, it is because you're nervous, but I think you got this English to understand what was the question about, okay? But maybe yeah, it's because of your nervosism, but that's okay.
Okay.
So let me Let me do it again with you, Faber, okay? Sorry that I'm taking again this long with you, but I want you to practice. Is it okay for you, Maria and Gilbert? Just to wait a little bit? Okay. Then we're gonna practice again with you.
Okay.
Okay. Let me just finish this, okay? I have 6 questions about books. Okay, let me just finish this. Let me ask you again, the fourth one, which is, do you regard famous writers as good role models? And then I will keep going with the three of them that rest, okay? So, do you regard famous writers as good role models?
Um, okay. I can recommend writers about no teacher and look.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, what you have to say is something easy,
I don't
right?
know exactly how to begin to answer these questions. This
Okay,
kind.
yes, that's okay. That's okay. Let's say you have to put the question into a section. Here the main thing is that if famous writers are good example for people. If
Mhm.
they're people that you would like to follow in their behave, okay, that's the question. Maybe you
Yes.
know this guy from Russia. Maybe you know
Mhm.
how his life ended. I don't know because a lot of famous people they ended committing suicide. Okay, killing themselves. That's a bad way to say it, but just for all of you to understand it. Okay, a lot of them, a lot of famous people. Okay, but that's maybe like the fashion people. With famous writers we have a lot of them, but as well, I mean, we have Friedrich Nietzsche as well. He was a philosopher, but he also wrote. He ended up, um, he ended up at the age of 56. Okay, in the 1900s, and that was a pity life actually. He brought a lot of ideas, but he actually was a really bad guy. So the question is, do you consider that famous writers are good models, are good examples? Okay, that's the question. Rephrased,
Mm,
rephrased. So you could say something like, I don't think they are good role models because a lot of them have many like let's say yeah let's say they have problem with their family. They're good writers, they're good in what they do, but they don't really know how to behave well with people. Some of them ended up their lives committing suicide, okay, shooting themselves with a gun. So I don't think they will be good role models. They're kind of good in their teaching, some of them, but their lives are a different thing, okay? Let's say they preach something, but they live in another way. That's kind of a
that is,
simple
the
answer,
important here
okay?
is okay.
Sorry,
Important
Faber? Yeah.
important of the question is the books that they write. They write, no? Not
No,
their
their
life.
their
No, it is
life. No, the important of the question here is that they are good examples for people. That you want to
ah
be like them. You
okay.
want to be like him. Good behavior. They're role models. Okay, yes, I want to be like this Russian guy that you said.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the
Okay.
main question.
Finally, I understood.
Finally, okay. Let me just type it here. Let me just put it here. I will type it here in the chat box, so you will be able to check it. And hold on. Okay, this was the question. So it is written in a different way, right? So that's why it is a bit hard to understand. But if you pay, yeah, attention just a little bit, you will be able to get it, okay? That was the question. Can you check it there? Do you see it? Okay, that was the way it was structured. Okay, okay, Faber, if a movie is based on a book, would you prefer to read the book or to watch the film?
uh, I like both, but as I said before, I like reading book, because in the book we can find more details about the history. We can find even another points of view about the book. So I always prefer read the book instead of watch the movie.
Thank you so much. That was outstanding. That was good. That is the idea. Just the way you answered this one, you answered it, and then you provided two more details, and then you finished talking, and then you provided me a moment to ask you again another question. That was outstanding. Okay, so you hit the nail on the head. That was good. That's the idea, Fravor. You can do it, right? That's something that you could do. So try to be relaxed. Uh, Not to push yourself or to press yourself. Have something with you to drink, water, coffee, something like it. Believe me, that will also get you at ease. Okay, that will set you at ease. What does it mean? You will feel more comfortable. Okay, believe me. Taking I don't know, drinking coffee, cup of tea, just as Maria is doing that. Okay, a cup of water, so that's okay. Even for your throat, it is something good because we're speaking here, right? So it is good also for your throat. Okay, guys. Maria, let us practice with you one more time, and
Okay.
then we will come to an end of this encounter. Okay. Let me give you. Okay, let us talk about computers. Okay. So I want you to ask you some questions, and I have my chronometer here with me. So here is the first question. Do most people have a computer at home in your country?
Mm, I think that it's it is an ideal thing, but not. I think that not everybody has a computer, and not only because they don't have the money or the resources, but also because the marketing is all the time convincing people that they need a better cell phone. So many people is interested in buying maybe an expensive cell phone, but not a computer. They don't understand the big difference between a computer and a cell phone, and the quality that the first one has in comparison to the cell phone.
Do you think all the information on the internet is true?
Absolutely not. I think internet is a place where you can find any kind of things, and I think this is due because due to the fact that in internet you don't have to show your face or your name. You can disguise and you can be covered behind a character that you can even invent. So you can put in online any sort of things that can also run very fast around the net. So a lie can be in even in a minute around the world, and people can't make a line between if it is true or if it is false because you can sometimes you don't have enough information to compare many things or to know many things in a realistic way.
How can people find reliable information on the internet?
Well, I think that there are two important points. The first one is when you are inside the internet, maybe you need to be sure that that you find different resources. So, okay, in this page, I found this information. I'm going to try to find new information. For example, it is something that I normally do. I find something. I don't know. For example, the aliens are here. So I try to find information about aliens from people that talks about in favor or that they are against, or I try to find at least 5 pages to compare, and at the end I try to understand if it is true or not. And the other thing that is very important, the other point, is that you can't only live on internet. You need to know people, real people that talk to you about things. For example, if we are talking about history, maybe it could be useful if you know another person that can talk to you about, for example, of the history of your city or of your country. So when you go to the internet, you have real things to compare, not only the information inside of internet.
How has the internet changed the way we live?
I think it has been in a very deep way, not necessarily in a good way. I think internet has many nice things and positive things and even constructive things. But in general, I think internet changed completely the way we conceive us as humans and the way we relate with other people. And I think it's a very problematic thing because we are losing many things, many important things that we need as a species to relate with each other and to construct a society.
Do you think the internet is safe for children to use unsupervised?
Could you please repeat the question?
Yes. Do you think the internet is safe for children to use unsupervised?
No, I think that not because internet is everywhere. It is very easy to get online. And if I am a child, maybe I don't have my own cell phone, but maybe my friend in the school, or maybe my neighbor, or maybe I even can have be near to a computer and everywhere. So no, it is very difficult, and especially because children in the present are very smart, and they can use a computer or a smartphone since they are 3 years, for example. So it is very difficult.
Okay, thank you so much, Maria. That was
Thank
good.
you.
Okay, amazing, amazing. Reliable information on the internet. That was a really good answer. Okay, that was good. 2 points you said. Two things, and then you described them really well, and they were logical and they were really good. Like based on something. It was really good. I mean, that was outstanding. So I think you're gonna do great for this exam. It isn't. Yeah, you will do. I believe it. So remember that also. Okay, do you have questions before I keep going? Do you have questions about? I mean, the because of a matter of time, we have to close the to come to an end of the encounter. But do you have questions about part three or anything of IELTS? Okay, that's good. All is clear, so that's amazing. So remember also to take some listening quizzes if you have forgotten to take some of them. You can check in the Edmodo app and try to take some of them if they are still available. Okay, I told you this last encounter, and I think there are some listening quizzes still available, so you can get taken advantage from it. Okay, that is important. That is 10 points of the 20 that we grade you. So I always said this to you, but that is important because I have seen a lot of students that haven't taken them, and that is a really bad thing because it is 10 points. But okay, just for you to remember that to you guys. Yes, and also this was the last encounter. So then you will have the also as well the final exam. I think you will do great. I think you have the level, the English level that it takes. Try to be relaxed because if you are too nervous, then it's gonna be a trouble. Okay. Uh, Gilbert, later on I will give you some links. Okay, for you to practice, and then I
Okay.
can and
Okay,
yeah. So
teacher.
yeah, but
Okay.
besides that, thank you so much for coming, being so punctual. Your punctuality challenged me, so that was good also, and I think that is going to take you farther your way as a teacher. Okay, so thank you so much, guys. It was my pleasure to be with you. And Fravor, you have learned a lot. I have seen
Mhm.
your growth.
Thank you, teacher.
Okay, keep going
You're
that way, and
amazing.
also, yeah,
You're
Maria,
amazing.
Maria, you're really good. Your English is quite good, and also your answers. And something important, keep practicing when you have something like exams with the time. Okay, like let's say
Yeah.
that you have only 2 minutes to do it. You're good at it. I mean, you have been practicing, but yes, you have a really good English level. So I'm so glad to be here with all of you. And Gilbert, you're always trying hard. Thank you for your patience, and thank you for being like so punctual as well in these encounters and trying so hard. Yeah, you made it until the end, so that was good. You didn't quit. Amazing, amazing, Gilbert. Okay. So bye bye
Thank
guys. It was amazing to be with you. So hope to see you somewhere.
Thank you very much, tutor. Thank you
Okay.
to Freiber
Thank you,
and
teacher.
Giver.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye bye. We'll stop recording.
Thanks for
Bye bye.
everything.
Yeah.
Bye.